Hey everyone, welcome back to Breakpoint Now. I'm glad to be back, part of the second season. Once again, I am your host, Jesse Leone. We're glad to be bringing you back content again while you're being safe and socially distanced. You know the story. We interview people all across the music landscape, whether it be artists, producers, label heads. We interview them all. Today we have a couple of special guests, singer-songwriter extraordinaires, homegrown from Los Angeles. Tredessa Willis, Trayvon Trapper of the group Shakespeare. Let's bring y'all on right now.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Hello.
peace, guys. I'm glad to have you guys here. A big fan over here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like I said, congrats on all that you've accomplished so far. I know you guys come a long way. Love the song White Shoes. I love the song Age Like Wine. That real good, feeling good R&B. I'm all about that. Love it. You also have a Latin song called Celos.
Yes, we do.
And it blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Did it
right?
really?
And I was just like, no, you guys speak Spanish way better than I do. Straight up.
Listen,
Well, we
I know
work
we're
hard.
black, but we're low key Dominican. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
we worked hard. We worked hard on the making sure we get the words right.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the accent and everything was just, man, it blew my mind. It was awesome. I have a good accent. I just don't have the vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, all right, let's get into it. All right, so first of all, what is your story? How did you meet? How long have you been working together? Give me all that. Give me that good stuff.
Man, we've been working together for an eternity now.
Right. I was gonna say I've known Trayvon since he was 16. I think.
What's going on with the audio? But no, I used to be really heavy into drawing, doing concept art. I used to really want to do a lot of sketch art and everything.
He's breaking up.
Is it?
Are you go Tredessa?
I was about to say, so this is, I'll tell you what he's about to say because I know him. So he was really heavy in concept art.
I can hear you guys.
And so he was drawing constantly, and he used to go to Hollywood High. And I used to, I just graduated, so I was going to MI, Musicians Institute. And one of a family friend was a art director down the street at one of these major advertising companies. And so he came in to intern, and I was working there. And that's how our paths crossed, and we became friends from that. And then the art director cultivated this music thing. He was like, yo, he sings, you play piano. You guys should explore that. And then he made an office with 2 speakers and a MIDI keyboard and
first
a random program. And we just built. We just stayed building from there, and the rest is history. 1,000 years later, here we are. That's basically what ended up happening.
Crazy.
So and then we got signed.
What about you, Trayvon?
Oh, Trayvon. That's Trayvon's story. Go ahead, Trey. He's frozen.
No, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah.
See me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened. I kind of got into the middle of I guess what we were telling the origin story.
Yeah, the origin story.
That's what we were doing. No, basically my side of it was I used to like singing, but I wasn't writing songs or I was performing. I was doing musical theater in high school, but I really wanted to be a sketch artist. So one of my counselors at school or whatever got me an opportunity to do an internship, and that's where Tredessa was working. And then my supervisor there, old family friend for Tredessa, he wasn't really feeling my drawings like that, to be honest, but it's all good.
Draw. No, he can't draw.
Yeah,
it wasn't as strong as it should have been.
You know, but yeah, he was like, hey, you sing, right? And I was like, yeah, I sing a little bit, I guess. And then I guess him and Tredessa were coming up with some ideas to make more money. And then he just puts me in this little audition thing right there in the room, oh, sing something, Tredessa. And then I sang
I was Randy Jackson.
Yeah, Tredessa.
I was Simon Cowell, and I was like, nah,
yeah, dog. Nah, but
Yes.
so yeah, I like saying I like sung a song. I think it was Just Once by James Ingram because that was like my audition song back then. And then Tredessa was like, "Yeah, can you sing something more current? Because that's that's not gonna cut it." And then I was
Mhm.
like, "Okay." So then I sang like a Mario song. I think it was "Let Me Love You" or something like that. I don't know what I sung,
Oh,
but
right,
I
right,
think it
yeah.
was a Mario song though. And then she was
Probably
like,
Mario
"Okay,
or
cool. He's
Usher.
all right. He's decent. I guess we can work with this." And then she had already mentioned she was at MI, but yeah, she was at MI and she was like doing piano and all that stuff. And I was like, "Well, it's so dope, man. I can play any instruments." And then so she had this one track and she was like, "You ever written a song before?" And I was like, "Nah, never wrote a song before, but I don't know, I feel like maybe I could do it." And then we picked this track. She thought it was trash. I thought it was dope. I don't know if I can curse, so I'll say AF. I thought it was dope AF. And
Now you can
then
cuss. It's all good.
okay, I thought it
It's
was
an
dope as
adult
fuck.
show. This
I
is an
thought it
I'm
was
adult
about to
show.
say you
fuck.
grown.
Yeah,
Say it with your
yeah.
chest.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was dope. And then I was like, no, no, we should write to it. We should write to it. And then we wrote to that and we loved that song. Looking back at it, we're at a different
It was a
place
trash
now,
song.
songwriter
It
wise.
was. It
But
wasn't
Yeah,
trash.
that song will
It
always have
was
a
a
special place in our
yeah,
heart.
absolutely.
But
yeah.
yeah, shout out to She Knows. Um, that was the name of the song. But yeah, and then I don't know, like we felt the chemistry then, and then it was just like song after song. We've just been working on music ever since.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I've been. I found out about you. You've done a little bit of everything, whether it's songwriting, performing, producing. And
Mhm.
now, how did you guys hone your skills to where they are now? Like, obviously, it's a lot of practice, but what are some other like ways that you can hone your skills to get there?
Um, I mean,
Uh,
I
haven't. Go ahead, Trey.
I've always said we have like these set like sessions that we've had, and they're always like, or not even sessions, they're always like pivotal interactions that like take us to the next level. And it's always because like there's like a crucial lesson that we learn as far as like singing. Like we've been singing our whole lives since we were like little kids and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been some sort of like entertainer, whether it was like a class clown or I don't know, just like I used to perform Michael Jackson songs in my living room with my mom.
I think we
letting
all
me
might
know
have
that
done. I think we all might have done that in our
yeah,
life.
so like
100%.
it's always been like that. And then singing, I just used to listen to, a lot of Usher, a lot of Tyrese, a lot of and just like, oh, I want to sound like that. I want to sound like that and kind of mimic them. And then as I got older, of course that foundation is still there, but I've just like branched out into other things and then really fine tuned, okay, what's my sound? What do I want to sound like? What do I want to do? What kind of songs do I want to write? I didn't really start working on the writing stuff until I met Tredessa.
Mm-hmm.
And then and then that just came with like practice. Like, okay, we met certain songwriters and went in certain sessions and everything where they were like, you know what, you got to think about it like this and you think about this. And then, some of the advice was trash. So, I listened to it and then
Yeah.
just discarded it. It
Right.
just wasn't for me. So, yeah, that's my side of it. What do you think,
Yeah.
Trizzy?
Honing skills. I just want to. I think it comes down to just putting yourself in places that are not comfortable all the time.
Yeah.
And like we've been in sessions where there's multiple writers, and Trayvon and I go psych because they we literally go psych not because we don't know how to play well with others. It's because other people are so focused on other things, and we're just there for the music. So we'll like go
Right.
off into a corner together and we'll just write the whole song in the corner by ourselves.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then we'll come
Yeah,
back and they'll
that's
be like,
great.
"Oh, you guys finished?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're done. We're here for."
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah. So,
not.
talking to songwriters,
Uh,
to me, like whenever they say like, yeah, it took me like 15 minutes to make a song and it's fire. Like a lot of times that happens. Like I think if you put too much thought into your song, you're gonna overthink things and you're gonna add things that probably shouldn't be there. Yeah, I like that.
mhm.
I like that. Being in the music business, I've learned that more and more often that like people like you guys who are just musically brilliant that you can just whip up a song and make it sound great.
I think what helped us, because we started once we started like getting to to a certain level with songwriting and like trying to like write a hit song all the time and all this stuff, like we started slowly putting ourselves in a box. And then at some point we were like, okay, let's just forget about all the limitations and standards that we need to
Mhm.
that they want us to hit, and just take, let's be comfortable in the fact that we know that we can do that already. Let's start doing stuff like,
Right.
let's say words that aren't normally said in songs, or let's
Right.
Right.
Like create our own
like
creative
let's
space. Like
still huh?
don't be a part of someone else's standard of creativity. It's
Yeah, yeah,
our
because we
state of
know like we can
creativity.
do that. We can do that already. Like I haven't heard too many songs that where it's like, oh man, I don't feel like I would be able to do that, or I don't feel like that's an idea that
Right.
wouldn't have come from my head. And I love hearing songs where it's like, damn, like that's crazy that they approached the song like that. I wouldn't have thought to approach the song like that until I heard this song.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so
so
that means you guys gonna do some country next or what?
we could do
Oh,
country.
listen, I was about to say that. I was about to say, wait a minute. We had a session with Super Dupe, which is one of the major like reggae producers, and
Mhm.
we have never like we've heard Bob Marley, but we don't dance hall. We don't like, you know what I'm saying? You go down Venice and you hear some reggae, but you're not really invested. We
Yeah.
took maybe 30 minutes and we were like, all right, let's figure this out. And we were only supposed to be
Mhm.
there for one session. We ended up being there the whole week, killing
Nice.
song after song after song, to the point where Super Dupes even looked at, because it was like a writing camp. Super Dupes looked
Mhm.
at the other people like, be like them. Like they're
Wow.
just writing. And I'm sitting up there
Yeah.
like, yeah. Like we don't, even if we don't know the genre,
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
can figure it out. We got context clues, we can figure it out. So that's
And
Yeah.
kind of how
that
it
comes
is. We
from just
write
like
anything.
understanding the foundation of that genre. Like if I listen to a country song, I'm like, okay, I hear like the instrumentation and everything, but it's gonna start with the melody, and then they tell a story more with their lyrics, as opposed
Mhm.
to a hip hop song or R&B song, which is most likely gonna be like, baby this, baby that, come get
Hmm.
it, or
Right.
stuff like that, or
Yeah.
I wish you never left, or something like that. But then we just take that formula and then we make it us. Like we're not, if we do a country song, we're gonna do a Shakespeare country song. We're not gonna do a country. We're not gonna do a
100%.
country
Just like
country
we did
song.
Cellos. That was a Shakespeare
Exactly.
Latin
Yeah.
song.
Absolutely. Nice. I respect that. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of country, but I respect it. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? I do respect the classics. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Now, you two have worked with some big names in the industry. Um, Justin Bieber and Stokely, just to name a couple.
Hmm.
You know, two pretty big names. How do you keep your emotions in check? Are you ever in awe? Like, how do you kind of go about that? As I always like to hear from artists.
Um, emotions in check, like it start like being
Yeah, you're
starstruck.
like, are you starstruck? Like, wow, dude, that's
Uh,
Justin Bieber, that's Stokely, that's New Edition right there. You know, like,
No,
um,
no, that's good. Cool.
I don't know. There's probably some people where I'd be like, yo,
never.
don't you know? Oh my gosh, look. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. Somebody told somebody there was one session. Shout out to Diesel. 'Cause he's a person that told us this.
Hey,
He pulled us out of a session one time because we had that like earlier we had that mentality where it was like we were like, oh, we don't really know how to move. We're still moving like we were new to it.
Mhm.
And he pulled us outside and he was like, hey, I just want y'all to know that I really think y'all are really dope. And we are like, oh, thank you. We like you too. Thank you. We appreciate that. And he was
Mhm.
like, but y'all gotta remember that you belong here. Like you guys aren't just like people who are like outside of this trying to figure out how to do it or pretending to do it.
Mhm.
You guys are doing it. You belong here. This is you're a part of this. And I think after that, it was like it kind of shifted something where it was like, okay, feel like we're on the outside looking in anymore. You know, I don't know if that I don't know if like that really answers your question, but it kind of
No, it makes sense.
shifted something so where it's like if I see I don't know, Chris, like part of me is gonna, if I see like Chris Brown, part of me is gonna be like, I want, like, that's Chris Brown, like he's talented as fuck, you know, listen to all of his stuff and all that stuff. But then like the majority part of me is gonna be like, oh, I want to work with this dude.
That makes sense. Yeah,
you know, like that's immediately that's mostly where my mind goes.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Yeah, like I said, that's a good place to be in mentally. Is that I belong on this? I belong on the stage. You know, I don't need someone else to validate me. That's great. Yeah, and like I said, listening to music, I could definitely see that. Like you were definitely within that group, so that's awesome. You said earlier
where the excitement does kick in though, when we do the song, when we do the demo, and then we send it, and then we get the version with the artist voice back on it. Now that's crazy. That like I get super hype over that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Like Stokely, like we'll do a song, send it to Stokely. Stokely's like, yeah, I like it, and then Stokely will completely make it his own, and then he'll send it back, and then we'll hear it, and it'll be like, oh my god, that's Stokely's voice. Because I grew up listening to the voice, not knowing the person, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So that's the main thing that like goes crazy. Like we were in a session. It was a song. It was Anna has a song featuring Music Soul Child called Half of It. That's a song that we wrote. And we were in the studio when Music Soul Child was recording his part. And I'm telling you, as soon as that first line, he's like, oh, I'm sick. You know, y'all let me know if it's good. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. As soon as he sung that first line, me and Tredessa were flipping, bro. Like we were like, that's the voice, you know, that like that's the familiarity, that's the familiar part of it. And we were like, man, that's that voice though, you know, teach me how to love, show me the way to love. We were like, oh my god, you know, that's it. But yeah, that's where like get really excited.
Man, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big fan of New Edition too. Back in my day, you know, I mean, I'm not super old, but man, they kind of made that R&B style. You know what I mean? They kind of were the epitome of it.
Oh, you said New Edition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yep. So anyway, you already said like, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
So like I was saying, you Trayvon, you said some of your influences like Usher, like the Ushers of the world when you were growing up, wanting to get in the game. What are some others that kind of influenced you to get into the music business?
Well, I grew up listening to a lot of the R&B that my mom was playing. Yeah, so it was like Usher. I grew up listening to Mike. Like I said before, Tyrese. I'd be watching Genuine dancing on the TV, and then on the other side of it, my brother was like super into rap and everything. So
shout
he
out
was like,
Tyrone.
yeah,
Junior.
You know, actually, we're talking about honing skills, and I gotta give props to my brother because he made my brain think in different ways when it came to just like coming up with melodies and everything. Like I'll get in the studio and I'll get in the booth and I will do like 1,000 melodies to one track. And I feel like the reason I can do that is because one, all the music I was exposed to, and then two, because my brother would sit there and beatbox, and we'd come up to like 5 different songs to that one beat. Never change up the cadence, never change up anything, and just come up with different songs to that one beat. So shout out Tyrone, I love you, bro.
So you did write songs before?
Well, I mean, I freestyle, you know, but
yeah.
that's mostly like gibberish.
Yeah. That's funny, man. What about you, Tredessa? Who are like some of your like old school favorites that you just were like, God, I want to get in the music business because of this artist?
I never knew there was a music business. That's straight up. Meaning like my mom worked at Fox. So I knew there was a movie business, but I didn't understand that there was a music business. But
Mhm.
what really flipped it for me, because like I've always been in band. Like I played drums in 8th grade and I was in the marching band in high school, and that's just what it was. But when I don't remember what age I turned. I was in high school and I realized Neo wrote the song that Beyonce was singing. That's when I went, oh shit, the artist does it right. Oh
Mhm.
shit,
Yep.
these are modern day poets. And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to community college. I'm gonna write music for a living. That's what I was like. So that's what it was for me.
Mhm.
And I was just so crazy to me. And then
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, I guess I'm going to school for a few seconds just to get this
Yeah.
structure down to understand it a little bit better. That's it.
Mhm. Yep. I think I was a little bit older too. I maybe in like late high school, early college, where I found that out. We're like, oh, these guys don't write all their music. This is like, they got all these people. Like, I don't know if you saw that Jay-Z wrote all of Still Dre, like the whole song.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dre's,
I saw that. I saw that.
Snoop's. He wrote the whole thing, and I didn't know. I knew he wrote Dre's verse. I didn't know he wrote the whole song though.
I didn't
And
know he
so,
had anything to do with that song. That's crazy.
yeah, I know he wrote Dre's verse, but then Snoop came out and was like, nah, he wrote the whole song. And like it was kind of one of the first times that everyone kind of knew that, and everyone was kind of blown away, like, wow, that's one of Dre's biggest songs,
I guess you can kind of hear it.
Oh, absolutely.
If you like listen
Absolutely.
past his voice.
Absolutely. What about some of like today's favorites? Like, who are guys some of your like favorites from today? Where, like, if I go to your car, what are you jamming in your ride?
I'm not jamming.
I recently found, I think his name is Kenyon Dixon,
Mhm.
but his vibe is like, because we listened to a lot of Frank Ocean, like when he had dropped the Lonnie Bro collection, and then Nostalgia
The original
Ultra.
Frank Ocean.
Yeah, before Channel Orange and all that stuff. But yeah, that kind of gives me that vibe. Lucky Day is another person.
Lucky Day is amazing. That's it. That's all I feel about Lucky Day.
What else?
I mean,
Her.
I listen to everything that's on the radio.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of hard.
Lucky Day,
I'll go to the radio when like I feel like my playlist is getting old. Just to feel like
but
I'll go back to it to be like, okay, is my music dated now, or am I still listening to the hot stuff, or the new stuff? So
yeah.
And then I
man, you
go to the
so old,
radio, and
Trey.
then I
Hot
realize I'm
stuff.
not
Hot
listening
stuff.
to
You
the
might as well be
new
out
stuff.
right now. Hot stuff.
All right, tight. All right, tight. All right, tight.
Y'all are funny, man.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
What
All
about
right,
you,
so
Jimmy? Other artists.
I don't even listen to the radio. I don't listen to music. No, I know I
you're
don't
just on
listen
your
to
own.
music.
You're in your own
I
vibe.
feel like, yeah, because it's like it's my happy place, and I don't want it to be tainted by other people's stuff. Like if I'm in a car, then okay, I'm in a car and I'm listening to something, but nah.
All right, for sure. I feel that it's all good. All right, so this time during the pandemic, right? It's crazy for everybody, to say the least. How have y'all managed to keep busy, keep sane? Like, what are some things that you do aside of music that that you like to do to keep your mind off of everything?
Video games.
Drugs.
Video games. Damn.
I'm just kidding. Don't shake your head like that, Jesse. Dang.
Yeah. For me, video games. TV. WandaVision's on, so I've been watching that.
Oh, absolutely.
What else? Yeah, just movies, anime, all that stuff. I
All
watch
right.
all that.
Yeah, I know Netflix is probably through the roof right now. Disney Plus is through the roof right now. There, man.
They are.
I know, right? Once I heard that Disney Plus was coming out, I should have invested all my money into it.
You should have
Yeah.
invested.
All right, so let's get down to the music part. And can we expect to hear some new Shakespeare music anytime soon? If that you're allowed to talk about, of course. Or what are some of your plans moving forward?
It sounds like April. We're probably gonna drop something in April. That's what it sounds like. By the way, Isla just dropped a song. Her name is Isla. She dropped a song called Strings that
Shout out to Isla and Cadis.
that
You're-
Shakespeare was a part of. And her video is out. So if you are out there watching, check out Isla's Strings.
Strings by Isla.
Strings. I'm gonna write it down right now.
Strings by
I'm gonna check it
Isla.
out. Got you.
Then
But
Stokely just dropped Cascade recently. That was written by us.
And then his project comes out in April too.
Oh, I saw that on Instagram actually.
Excited
Yeah.
about that. Very excited
6
about that.
or 7 songs, and then we're featured on 1 song.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So I guess that is the next time you'll hear Shakespeare sing.
Yeah.
But we are working on more music for like our stuff. We've just been working on other people's stuff too.
Hey, you gotta keep busy, man. I understand. And I understand with you being like kind of not apart, but like, you guys each have your own lives, to be able to like collaborate all the time. You're not in the same studio every day, so I get it. But yeah, I'm excited to hear more of like I said, not just your music in general, but the music that you produce or you write for. Because I've listened to a lot of it already that you weren't particularly on. You know what I mean? And I love it. And I can't wait for it. Very excited.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? I think that comes to the end of our interview. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate you guys. We appreciate over here. Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate over here at Breakpoint Booking. Hopefully some venues open pretty soon. We can get some live music to the people. I know I'm dying to go to a venue and pay like $10 for a beer. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can watch some good music.
I'm dying to get on the stage. I want to get back to performing and
absolutely
hitting the road. So I completely understand.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate both of you for coming on, taking your time. I know you guys are both very busy. But yeah, we'll catch you again next time. Maybe once the album drops, we'll do this again.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? All right, guys. Well, yeah, I had your little scroll on down there. You can follow them at Facebook at Official Shakespeare, Twitter at We Shakespeare, YouTube Official Shakespeare, SoundCloud Official Shakespeare, Instagram at We Shakespeare. So go check them out. Super talented, behind the scenes, and a lot of music that you're probably listening to. So make sure you go show them some love. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a great day, great rest of the week, and we will talk soon. All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
All right,
All
you guys have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
You too. All right, there we have it. LA-based Shakespeare. Like I said, great talents. Thank you guys for coming by again to Breakpoint Now. We're in the 2nd season. I'm really excited to be coming back and bringing you guys more interviews. We got so much more. I'm not sure how many more we're going to have on season 2. Could be 15, could be 20, could be 30. I don't know. I'm having too much fun here. But what we are going to do is make sure that you guys are entertained. If you want to follow us at breakpointbooking.com, Facebook at Breakpoint Booking, IG at Breakpoint BKNG, Twitter at Breakpoint BKNG, YouTube Breakpoint Booking. If you want to follow me, I'm on IG at jesse.breakpoint.booking. If you guys want to show me some love. But you guys all, we also got to shout out our sponsors, Artist Rewards, artistrewards.com, The Plugs Earbuds at gettheplugs.com, Hunger Aid at hunger/aid.org. All great sponsors that we are lucky to have with us. So once again, guys, I appreciate you guys. You guys all take care, and you guys be safe. Wear your mask, social distance, but love each other, and it will be a better place. All right, guys. Love y'all.